Hey folks, Dre Crawford here, Recovery One Drones. Today we're going to talk about some pocket gimbals. If you noticed the late, if you've been following my channel, I've been doing some short videos about some pocket gimbals. I've been using one off and on, the original Fimi Pro, for about a year and a half, maybe 2 years now, and I decided to purchase a couple more for my different field work that I do. In the past, I've used full-size gimbals for DSLRs and mirrorless cameras, and it became more of a hassle taking those in the field, and they still didn't do what I needed them to do. It was more like I needed to stand still in one spot to capture what I was doing, so that limited my ability to get things done without repositioning the camera, resetting up gear and everything else. So the more research I did on these pocket cameras, they seem to be a better fit for what I do, and I'll talk about those as we go along. The first camera I'm going to talk about is going to be the original name was the Mirage Mirage Pro 1. That was the original name. It didn't sell very well initially. The people who designed this were the same folks who designed the Fimi Palm. A couple engineers left Fimi and went over and designed this gimbal right here. Fimi came in and helped them out. Rebranded this as the 90 Fun Capture One camera, kind of a long name, and try to make it more appealing to the vloggers out there who like to do vlogging. I know this item is very popular in the Southeast Asia area of the world, as all gimbal cameras are, but this one is really, I want to say unique, but it has some different features for it. Some of the specs on this one, it has a 1/2/3 sensor, which is pretty much standard throughout the industry. It has a field of view of 116 degrees. Okay. The biggest thing this thing has is a 1.4-inch display, which is very large. The menu is very, I would say, not simplistic, but it's easy to navigate, which is always a big thing when you're dealing with these pocket cameras, because you don't get a lot of screen to mess with, and you don't want to go through several different layers of menus to get to what you want to do. This one is very straightforward. A lot of things are automated in it. So for somebody who's just beginning, this will be a nice addition to what you want to do. The biggest thing about pocket gimbals that I like is the fact that they have a very good AI tracking system, which is basically artificial intelligence. If you're not out there running around in circles, this thing will be able to track you if you're just walking from one spot to the other. Normally they can cover anywhere from about, stand in front to about off axis of about maybe 100 degrees off axis, either direction, and still be able to track you with no problem. As long as your face is facing the camera, they'll be able to track you in most cases. I know some of the other systems like DJI Pockets, if you're standing further away, it will allow you to basically highlight your whole body, and it will track you from that area also. This one comes from a nice charging system. It can go from 0 to a full charge in about an hour. It has slow-mo settings up to 8 times, and it has a zoom settings up to 5 times zoom. Now, when it comes to zoom, it's not optical, it's digital. So those cameras and been around digital zoom, we know digital zoom is going to do one thing to your shots. It's going to add grain to your shot. So if you don't want any grain in your shot, don't really play around with the digital zoom unless you really have to. Especially, I wouldn't go past no more than 2 on any of these systems altogether. And that's the Mirage 1. And this is the box that it comes in. If I didn't show it to you already, here's a little look at that box right there. Now, it does come with some unique things also that allows you to download stuff. There's a little tab on the side here. Let me turn it towards you. That removes that tab and exposes a little, I would say, port. That port is supposed to be a slide in, which comes with it, adapter for a Android device using a USB-C, or for a iOS device, for your camera to attach directly to this. Now, those who want to use your phone as your instant, I would say, editing tool or whatever, that might be a big plus for you, because this thing does come with its own built-in editing software with the app that you can download for it and get you able to upload your video straight to social media right away in the field, if that's what you want to do. For me, it also takes away the ability of being hands-free, and that's what I like. Is like to be able to be hands-free, and that's why I like the tracking part of these type of cameras, because it allows me to be hands-free. Okay, now that's the 90 Fun Capture 1. The next one I'm going to bring to you is going to be the Fimi Palm 2. Let me get in the picture here. Here we go. The Fimi Palm 2 is the next one I'm going to bring to you. And this one I really like, because like I said, I already have the original Fimi. I like that one. You guys have seen videos of me using it. You may not pay attention to what I was using, but some of the videos I've done using the Fimi Palm. And it just had some things I think something always needs improvement. And this is the Fimi Palm 2 Pro. They did have a Fimi Palm 2, but this is the 2 Pro. This has some impressive specs to it. It has a 1/2-inch Sony sensor on it. It has a 128-degree view in the camera, so that's a pretty wide view. One of the widest ones you see out there. I think the DJI one's only somewhere around the 96, 98 degrees, or maybe even smaller. But this has a full 120 degree, which means it's going to bring in everything around you that you're standing around for a good view. The aperture is set at a solid vocal 2.2. Covers the ISO 100 to 3200. Video the same ISO 100 to 3200. Okay, it takes 12 megapixel pictures. And this one also takes JPEG along with RAW pictures. That is something that most of these do not have. Now, there are some things this does not do that other ones do. The other ones usually give you the option of recording in MOV or MP4. This one will only allow you to video in MP4. The SD card, which is the micro SD cards, can go up to a maximum of 256. As long as it's formatted in FAT32. The max bit rate, which has been the standard pretty much on a lot of the newer ones in the last year or so, will be at 100 megapixels, which means it's downloading the data to your card at a faster rate, which means it's getting a lot more information on the card, so it looks better. Like I say, this one also has digital zoom only up to 3 times, where this one had 5 times. But like I said, I wouldn't go past 2 times digital zoom, because you start getting grain no matter what. This one has a slow-mo of 2 times on it. I think this one has a slow-mo up to, I want to say, 4 times on this one. That's what I like about the original Fimi Palm. It had a slow-mo of 4 times and 8 times. So like I say, each one has some pluses and minuses. Resolution on this one is 4K, only at 30 frames per second. Compared to 60 frames a second on this one. I love shooting everything in 60 frames per second. It just gives me a lot more flexibility in post doing work. But this thing has some other features that makes it the better choice for me. You may have something else, and I'm about to show it to you right now. The bottom of this thing has the standard 1/4 screw mount, or 3/4 screw mount, whatever you want to call it. I think it's the 1/4 mount screw mount. Which means I can put this on a standard tripod. I can put it on some other little miniature tripods. I can hook it to probably any type of GoPro adapter, anything else, and it's good to go. And it's not going anywhere because of that screw mount right there. That's a big plus. So with the AI tracking, I can mount this on something, put it on something solid, lock it onto a bicycle, lock it onto a vehicle, whatever, and mount it and not to worry about it going anywhere. And it's going to hold place because of that screw mount. This one here doesn't have that. Okay, both of them have the standard USB-C at the bottom for charging. But this one doesn't have a mount. And this one, I have not found any accessories to be able to allow it to have a mount for you to be able to adapt it to any type of tripod or any type of different fixed ball joint or whatever. So that makes this one here pretty much has got to sit on its own base and be able to put it on something solid so it won't fall off. So you got to be careful in holding this one. My original Fimi Palm, which I am actually using right now to film this, does have an accessory made by people who do GoPro accessories. Has a mount, has a little bracket that slides right into, tighten it down like you do GoPro stuff, and then it screws onto the basic mounts. So that makes it, that's a big plus for someone like me. I like to be in the field. I don't have tables I take with me, so a lot of times things have to be screwed down, mounted, suction cupped, or whatever, so it doesn't fall off on anything. So having that screw mount right there is very big for my work in the field. Now, both of these do come with cases. This is the case for the 2 Pro, very basic, nothing there, nothing fancy, no frills at all. The other one, the 90 Fun, it's a little more, I would say, Gucci. Has a nice little leathery type case. It's magnetically, it closes. But like I said, in both these cases, the cameras barely fit. I ended up buying a case from Smart Tree for the 2 Pro, just like I did for my original Fimi. I bought a case for it, and I'll probably end up buying a case for this 90 Fun. Because these cases just don't work for me. I'm not very confident in what they'll do. But like I said, this goes to show you that these cameras are very easy to store with you, put into a back pocket, front pocket, whatever you decide. Put inside of a backpack with your other camera gear, or like for me, it fits right in my bag with my drones and their cases. It doesn't take up a whole lot of space at all. Unlike my full-size gimbal, I had a Moza Air Cross, I think they're called, gimbal, and that thing has a case of its own, and it's huge. So, like I say, trying to downsize when I go into the field, but still be able to carry the right tools that I need to do, the tutorials that I do in the field, try to show folks the type of work that I do in the field, and so on and so forth. So, as we move on, I'm going to show you guys more clips of both these cameras side by side. Let you decide on the footage, what you like, what you don't like, whatever the case may be. There are some other features on this one, like the little button right here allows you to shoot in different type of quick modes and everything. So I really say if you're a beginner, somebody who's just getting into this field, this is not a bad way to start. It makes it very easy to navigate the menus, a larger screen. Like I say, it does shoot in 4K 60. So if you, like me, you like that 60 frames per second threshold, this would be a good one to start off in. The slow-mo is pretty much what it is. It's going to be one slow-mo setting for it, but it's easy to find it. You don't have to search through 2 or 3 layers of menus and so forth. Like I said before, if you're a guy like me who's in the field, doing a lot of work and everything else, and you want to make sure you're able to mount this to whatever you have with you, GoPro mounts and everything like that, this is the bad boy I would recommend. It may only shoot 4K 30, but like I said, we all know we can always do things in post work and everything else to get what you want out of it. 60 just allows me to be a little more creative as far as post work down the road. So once again, this is Dre, Recover One Drones. As I always say, hang on, enjoy the ride, and please subscribe. And leave a comment too. Appreciate you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.